Remember when I told you that this whole thing with Sha'Carri Richardson not participating, not being allowed to participate in the Olympic Games because she had marijuana in her system was really an unequal application of the rule. Because not only did they violate the rule for the Russian team or Russian teams or Russia as a country, they have now violated the rules for an individual Russian Olympic athlete during this Winter Olympics. Now, let me bring your attention to their Russian skater, Kamila Valieva. I said that almost right, I'm sure. Here's some background.
The Court of Arbitration for Sport, actually the ad hoc division of the court, has issued its decision in the procedures relating to the figure skater Kamila Valieva. The CAS panel in charge of this matter has decided to let Ms. Valieva continue her participation in the Olympic Winter Games Beijing 2022.
Yeah, okay, well, she got dope in her system. She got real dope, not the marijuana kind. And she's being allowed to participate. Well, why is she being allowed to participate, but Ms. Richardson was not allowed to participate in the Olympic Games? Now, I want to remind you already, there's hypocrisy here with this decision because Russia as a country had a systemic drug enhancing program. So they had to go under the rock, okay? Which was a committee rather than the country, but nobody gave a damn. They were still able to compete even though they were involved in illegal doping. So this 15-year-old Russian skater was cleared even though she had drugs in her system. The substance in question is a hard drug. It is banned, but she will be allowed to still participate even though the drug is in her system, okay? Now, let's put up a picture of the tweet from Ms. Sha'Carri Richardson. The tweet says, can we get a solid answer on the difference of her situation and mine's? My mother died and I can't run and was also favored to place top 3. The only difference I see is I'm a black young lady. Well, yeah, that's a major part here, absolutely. Once again, the reason this committee gave was in part, well, she's only 15, which by the way, has not been an excuse for anyone. And if we do this, according to the committee, it will create irreparable harm to this athlete. I mean, literally, that was part of their reasoning for the summary judgment here. All right, as reported by USA Today, Richardson responded to a USA Today article by Christine Brennan in which she said the Court of Arbitration for Sports decision to allow Kamila Valieva, who tested positive for the heart drug trimetazine, to compete in the women's figure skating competition at the 2022 Beijing Games. It is just a slap in the face to all those athletes doing it the right way. Now remember, once again, Russia won gold, even though they were noted for being adversarial to the rules of the Olympic Games by having a system of doping. So they had to go under the banner of the ROC, which is the Russian Olympic Committee. The Russian Olympic Committee won gold in the team event last week. And the International Olympic Committee said there would be no medal ceremony. The court said this athlete is a protected person and therefore has different rules than adult athletes. Now remember, they're making rules up as they go here, okay? The mere fact that we're not saying Russia, but we're saying the Russian Olympic Committee or the ROC is because they are already guilty of systemic doping. So they create this rule that says, all right, well, we'll let you compete, but you cannot compete under the name Russia. You could compete under the name the Russian Olympic Committee. Big freaking deal. And then they're caught again. One of their athletes tests positive. What happens? Well, it's a bad thing, but because of the age of the person and because of the harm it would do to this athlete, we're gonna make another exception, even though you already have an exception to the rules, being the Russian Olympic Committee. In an opinion piece for Star, one columnist notes, but in protecting her based on her age, the court arbitration for sport allowed Russia to continue to exploit her based on her age. That was inevitable in a way. Either they doped her and she got caught, or they doped her and she got caught and got to skate anyway. What a debacle, right? The columnist also notes Russia's history of burning through young female skaters. There is nothing new about that. Richardson was suspended for 30 days, remember? For 30 days in July after testing positive for marijuana, a month after she won the 100-meter race at the US track and field trials. Now, I have to remind everyone, the state she was in during the trials allowed for recreational marijuana use. It was nothing illegal in that state about using marijuana, about smoking marijuana, nothing against the law, all right? Richardson says she used marijuana to cope with her mother's death, news she found out while at the Olympic trials. The 30-day suspension prevented her from competing in the 100 meters at the Olympics in Tokyo. There, she was expected to go for the gold, all right? Now, what message does this send to the rest of our young athletes who are up and coming? It sends the exact message I told you it sent when I first covered Ms. Richardson and her suspension as it related to marijuana use. Ms. Dahl, what are your thoughts here?
Gosh, there's so much to unpack because, their decision there, I think, really harmed the Olympics. A lot less people are watching the Olympics anyway.
Right.
But nobody really wants to watch when they know there's this really rampant cheating going on by Russia, as you said. I mean, they already can't even compete under their flag. I mean, it's possible, it's really strange. They're allowing her to compete, but it's possible she'll never be allowed to win. Like their decision of whether or not she can earn the medal is gonna be a month from now. And the reason why is because it took a month for Russia to hand over the test. So then it delayed the thing for a whole month, right? So, if she were an American athlete and they had been following the rules, they would have found out about this a month ago, and she wouldn't have even been allowed to appear in the Olympics. So Russia is definitely getting, they're being allowed to really do whatever they want, and it's harming the sport. And in terms of marijuana in particular, as you said, it was legal in her state. And maybe we need to ask the question of why professional sports is even still testing it. I think they do it for other sports too, like the NBA and everything like that. They don't do alcohol testing. So is it really enhancing people's sport? No. Why are we still doing it? Is there still like a stigma attached to it in particular?
Well, we know it's based in bias. And the reality is marijuana is not noted by any professional whatsoever as a performance enhancing drug, period.